Imagine you're driving down a road you've known your entire life. Suddenly, the steering wheel feels a little loose. The brakes don't bite quite as hard as they used to. You check the mirrors and the reflection is distorted. You aren't in a car accident, not yet, but you realize with a cold chill that you aren't the one driving anymore. Someone else is in the passenger seat, smiling at you, telling you everything is fine, while their foot is secretly pressing down on your pedals. This is what it feels like to be targeted by a master manipulator. It isn't a sudden explosion. It's a slow-motion hijacking of your reality. Most people think manipulation looks like a movie villain, someone obvious and sneering. But real predators are architects. They don't destroy your life all at once. They remodel it until it's a prison you can't escape. They don't want to break you. They want to own you. They do it by using your own kindness, your own memory, and your own loyalty as the bricks and mortar of your cell. If you want to stop being a victim, you have to stop looking for bad people and start looking for bad patterns. You need to stop asking why they are doing this and start asking how the game is being played. To find that blueprint, we have to look back 500 years to a man who saw the world exactly as it is, Niccolò Machiavelli. In the 16th century, Italy was a slaughterhouse of political betrayal. Machiavelli was a diplomat who stood in the rooms where the real decisions were made. He watched the most powerful men of his time and realized that the good leaders, the ones who were honest, kind, and predictable, usually ended up dead or exiled. The ones who stayed in power were the ones who knew how to play the game. He wrote a book called The Prince. It wasn't a book of poetry. It was a cold, clinical manual on how to control people. Machiavelli's core insight was simple. If you want to win, you have to be a great pretender. You have to know how to simulate virtue while practicing vice. Today, we are going to apply Machiavelli's 4 pillars of power to your modern life. We are going to look at the mask of virtue, the lion and the fox, the strategy of isolation, and the economy of cruelty. This isn't just history. This is the manual for the predator living in your circle right now. Machiavelli's first great secret is that image is everything. He argued that a leader doesn't actually need to be merciful, faithful, or honest. In fact, actually having those qualities can make you weak. However, seeming to have them is an invincible weapon. A modern manipulator knows that your empathy is a door, and to open it, they build a front. Think about the person who makes a point of telling you how much they hate drama, yet they are always at the center of it. Or the person who labels themselves an empath or a healer within 5 minutes of meeting you. Machiavelli points out that the public is always taken in by appearances. If a manipulator seems like a good person to the outside world, they can treat you like garbage in private, and nobody will believe you. You become the crazy one for questioning a saint. To spot this mask, you have to ignore the identity proclamation. When someone constantly tells you who they are usually trying to hide who they actually are. Watch how they treat people who have zero power to help them, like a waiter or a subordinate. If their kindness is a light switch they flip on and off based on who is watching, it is a strategy, not a virtue. They will also use a moral defensive. When you bring up a lie they told, they won't address the lie. They will act deeply wounded that you would even question their integrity. They make the conversation about your lack of trust rather than their lack of honesty. Machiavelli taught that a manipulator must be able to change their nature. He said you must be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. If you are only a lion, people will see your aggression coming and avoid you. If you are only a fox, you can be crushed by someone stronger. A master manipulator uses both. The fox stage is what we call gaslighting. The fox doesn't use force, they use confusion. They accidentally forget to tell you important information, or they make a cruel comment and then tell you that you're being too sensitive when you react. The goal of the fox is to make you doubt your own senses. If you can't trust your own mind, you have to rely on theirs. But eventually, the fox gets caught. You bring proof of the lie. That is when the lion emerges. This is the sudden, explosive shift into aggression. It could be shouting and intimidation, or it could be the silent treatment, which is a psychological siege that lasts until you apologize just to make the tension stop. The goal of the lion is to make the cost of challenging them too high. They want you to think it's not worth the fight, so you eventually just stop speaking up altogether. You have to watch for the flicker. If someone can go from a crying victim to an angry authority the moment they don't get their way, they aren't having an emotional reaction. They are deploying a tactic. Real emotions have a cool-down period. Tactical emotions can be switched instantly. Machiavelli knew that a prince is only strong if his subjects have nowhere else to go. In your life, a manipulator applies this by slowly dismantling your support system. They know that as long as you have a strong support system of friends who love you and family who knows your history, they cannot fully control you. Your friends are the resistance. They are the ones who will tell you that the way you're being treated is wrong. To win, the manipulator must destroy those connections through subtle poisoning. They won't tell you to stop seeing your friends because that's too obvious. Instead, they'll say they feel like your best friend is jealous of your success, or that your sister is judging the relationship. They will manufacture a crisis every time you have plans with someone else, so you end up staying home to take care of them. This creates an us-against-the-world narrative. They create a story where everyone else is the enemy and they are your only true ally. By making the world seem cruel or fake, they make themselves your only source of safety. Machiavelli taught that a prince's power comes from his alliances. If someone is trying to make your world smaller, they are trying to make themselves bigger in it. Never trust someone who asks you to give up your other relationships to prove your loyalty. This is Machiavelli's most chilling insight. He understood that human beings have short memories for pain, but a long-lasting sense of debt for kindness. He said that injuries should be done all at once, but benefits should be conferred little by little. Manipulators are masters of this slow drip benefit. They will treat you poorly for weeks, which is the injury. Then, just when you are about to leave, they suddenly do something incredibly kind. They buy you a gift, give you a massive compliment, or have a vulnerable conversation where they cry and promise to change. Because the good moments are rare, your brain treats them like a drug. You start chasing that high and you forgive the injury because the benefit feels so good. This is how people stay in ruinous relationships for years. They are waiting for the next little bit of kindness to justify the months of pain. Every benefit a manipulator gives you also comes with a hidden receipt. They aren't giving to you, they are lending to you. They will bring up a favor they did months ago to silence a legitimate complaint you have today. They want you to feel a constant, heavy sense of obligation. They use their past kindness as a shield to protect themselves from being held accountable for their current cruelty. Realize that kindness is not a currency that buys someone the right to mistreat you. Niccolò Machiavelli wasn't trying to create a world of villains. He was trying to give the good people the tools to survive. He knew that innocence is not a shield, it's an invitation to be used. To spot a manipulator before they ruin your life, you have to be willing to look at the world with cold eyes. You have to value your own reality more than their mask. You have to protect your fortress of friends and realize that anyone who uses their lion or fox persona to keep you off balance is not a partner. They are a competitor. The fog only works if you stay still. Once you start recognizing the patterns, the game is over. You are no longer a pawn. You are the player. Understanding the strategy of the world is the only way to stay ahead of it, so clicking the subscribe button is essentially your first move toward checkmate. After all, it is much better to be the person reading the map than the one wondering why the landscape keeps changing.